Turn this music down just a little bit. Hi everybody. And welcome back. Sort of. Hi! Oh, my video's a little bit off. Just a smidge. We're gonna put me right in there. How's everybody doing? I hope you're well. Happy... What day is it? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Just have to make myself fit in my square. Be there or be square. Well, I would like to be square. Welcome back to Create and Hang. My name's Emily from the Digital Arts Experience, and today we're going to make a really simple game, but it's going to be Star Wars themed. And because obviously Star Wars is awesome, I just gotta turn my music down just a smidge. So let's get started. I'm on scratch.mit.edu. Scratch is my jammo. Scratch is really fun. For those who don't know, it is a block-based programming language developed by MIT, and it's really awesome for kids to be able to learn. So the way I have my screen, that you can't see the menus, but I'm going to the upper left corner and I'm going to click create over at scratch.mit.edu. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, for any game to be fun, it has to be some sort of like challenge, right? So the idea behind a simple game is to have a character, to have an objective, and then to have some sort of obstacle in the way of that objective as a way to overcome that, right? So that's sort of your basic game. So instead of going and getting a new sprite after I get rid of the cat, I'm actually going to want to get one from the computer. And let me just do something real quick here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to search up sprites. So I'm going to search up what do I want first? I want Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia. I'm gonna add the letters PNG because that's gonna give me Princess Leia without the backdrop, I'm hoping. So let's see. Princess Leia costumes. That's kind of a fun one. Whoops. But let's see. So I'm just gonna save her 2 pictures as Princess Leia. And then I'm also going to search up, I'm just going to do it here on another tab because you never know what Google is just going to whip up for you. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to choose, I'm going to search Darth Vader PNG. And he's going to kind of like get in the way. So he's going to be my obstacle. Darth Vader. And then I want to have R2-D2 be. We're going classic Star Wars here. R2-D2 PNG. He's gonna be the thing that Princess Leia needs to get to, right? He's so cute. Cute robot. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna save that. And make sure I get Leia all squared away. JPEG, but that's okay. Let's see if we can find a PNG. There she is. That's a good one. Alright, so I have my characters. Now I'm actually going to go down here to the lower right corner, and I'm going to, instead of choosing a sprite from the sprite library, I'm going to upload one from my computer. And we're going to go to pictures, and we're going to go get the sprite that we want. So we're going to first get Princess Leia. There she is. R2-D2. And, oh, I'm gonna have to fix him a little bit. And, whoops. I'm going to upload Darth Vader. So now I have my characters. But, they're, like, pretty big. So I'm actually gonna set the size of them to much lower. I'm wondering if I can make them smaller in here. I used to be able to, but I don't know if there's a button for that anymore. Okay. All I'm going to do is just set the size to much smaller. I'm going to say 20%. That looks about right. Now my R2, I have to work on a little bit. I'm thinking that if I could cut him out with this tool, then I should be good to go. I think this is, this is the eraser tool. Yeah, so I'm just gonna erase all these checkers that I don't need. It's definitely not gonna be perfect, because I'm not going for perfect artwork right now, but it'll give me the gist at least. Whoops, I kind of shaved off his arm. Whoops. Okay, well, it's alright. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, and that's the beauty of it. Just have some fun. Okay, get rid of this. We need to make this bigger. Alright, I'm erasing, erasing, erasing. So I think that's pretty good, no? Yeah, that's decent. So I have my R2, I'm gonna set him to 30 maybe? Maybe Darth Vader can be at 30 too. And then I have my Princess Leia, and she's gonna get set to 30 as well. So, now I need a backdrop. So I have my three characters, my character sprite, my objective sprite, and my obstacle sprite. Now I need to get a backdrop, so I'm gonna search up some Star Wars, maybe some outer space. I should do Baby Yoda. Oh, I love Baby Yoda. Anyone who knows me knows my obsession with the child from The Mandalorian. So anyway, yes. Must protect Baby Yoda at all costs. Gonna make Leia a little bit bigger. There we go. So, R2 can be a little smaller there. All right. So I've got my three sprites. Now I need some backdrops. So I need a couple of things. On the one hand, I need my gameplay backdrop, which is going to be like my main backdrop for playing the game. And then I need a backdrop for winning, like if I actually win the game. And I need a backdrop for, excuse me, for losing the game, like a game over screen. So I'm going to get three different backdrops. Let's just see, for simplicity's sake, if I can find a couple of good ones. Is there an outer space one? Oh, there is. There's a galaxy one. So this is gonna be like my main gameplay backdrop. So if I want to get a backdrop, I go to the lower right corner of the screen, and if I just want to get one from scratch, I could just choose the picture icon. If not, I can paint my own backdrop. I can get a surprise backdrop where Scratch will just pick one for me, and then I can also upload one from the computer. So, I'm gonna make my own. So I need to paint a screen that says winning. And I'm gonna fill it with, I love pink, so I'm gonna make it pink. Yeah, that's a nice color. And it's gonna say, you win. Now, don't pay attention to what's going on over here yet. We haven't programmed anything, so whatever you're clicked on is gonna be the thing that shows up. But you don't really need to worry about that right now. I'm gonna choose my font. I want Pixel. You may return, oops. It's gonna say you won. You may return to the millennium. One thing that I do that I always tell my students is they never know how to spell things, and I admit millennium. Oh, I did spell it right. Okay, Millennium Falcon. Yes, the Millennium Falcon. I almost called it the Millennial Falcon. So you won. You may return to the Millennium Falcon. Now my losing screen is going to say, and I'm just going to use this backdrop because it was already blank. It's going to say, game over. Welcome aboard the Death Star. Alright. So, I have game over. Game over screen, my it's gonna be my gameplay screen and my winning screen. All right. So, and I always like to name whatever I'm working on so that I know when I'm programming, like what things I just like to stay organized and keep track of things, because once you start getting like a gajillion backgrounds, by a gajillion I mean like 4 or 5 or 100 depending on what kind of game you're making, it starts being really critical to name your assets, because otherwise you don't know what you're programming for, you know. Alright, so let's start programming. First things first is, like, nothing I do here, I want to make it clear that nothing that I select has anything to do with what's actually going to happen when I click the flag. The flag is like the on game start trigger, basically. So everything that's selected right now has nothing to do with anything. It's just floating objects. We shoved them all in a pile, and there they are, ready to be programmed, but they don't do anything yet. So we are the ones that have to, as programmers, right? We are the ones that have to make them do stuff. We have to tell them what to do. I'm gonna call this Star Wars Simple Game. Alright, so first things first, I have to ask myself, what backdrop do I want to be on when the game starts? And I like to, anything that has to do with like anything that's universal in the game, like the backdrops changing. If it's not the character that's triggering that backdrop change, I like to keep everything organized within the backdrop itself, which can be programmed. So I'm just gonna say on game start. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. I have never seen this before. The little cat, the Pusheen. That's too much. When the flag is clicked. I don't know if that's an update or if it's a setting. When it's so cute. When the flag is clicked, I want the backdrop to switch to the gameplay backdrop. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna say when when the flag is clicked, switch the backdrop to gameplay. Right? So what that's gonna do is when I go test it out, it's going to switch the backdrop to this, the universe backdrop. Now, what next? I need controls for Leia. So let's make Leia be able to go up, down, left, right, or diagonal. And the way that we're going to accomplish this is we're going to use a repeat loop with if statements to say if I'm touching, like if the keyboard is sensing me touching a certain key, it's going to make me go up, down, left, or right, depending on what key. And I'm going to use the arrow. I'm going to use the arrow keys today. So I need to program for Princess Leia. So I have to click on her. Now, I want to say that anything that you see to the left of this vertical line I'm making with my mouse is going on inside of whatever character or backdrop that you are clicked on. Okay? So if I'm clicked on Leia, notice how my code disappeared. Well, it's because I'm not programming the backdrop anymore. I'm programming for Princess Leia. And this is really crucial in understanding Scratch, is that anything to the left of this, of like the stage and the sprite area, is going on within this character or backdrop that I am highlighted. Right? It was highlighted in blue, and you can see that. Anyway, moving along. When the flag is clicked. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I can't even. That's too funny. I need something to happen, and it needs to just be continually scanning, so I'm going to use a forever loop, which in other more advanced programming languages is called while true. So while true, while the flag has been clicked and the game is running, these things are going to happen. Now I'm going to use an if. If the key up is pressed, I want to move along the y-axis. So what I'm going to do, I need to go up on the y-axis, which means I'm going to go in a positive number. Now we're talking a little bit about the grid in Scratch, which actually, you know what, let's just bring it up right now. You can see the XY grid in Scratch. So you can see this is my y-axis, and if I go up, I'm going positive 100. All the way up here, the top level's out at 180, and the bottom at negative 180. And then subsequently, the y-axis, the x-axis, goes right is positive and left is negative. So just so that we're all on the same page in terms of the XY axis and the kind of grid that Scratch uses. So if the up arrow key is pressed, I'm going to move along the Y axis in a positive direction. If I want to go down, I just make that number negative. Change Y by 10. So if I right click, I want to duplicate this piece of code. So if I right click it, I can quickly duplicate it and just change it to the down arrow and make this number negative. It's going to be the same for left and right. So I'm just going to duplicate these again. Be sure, one thing you don't want to do is nest these inside of each other, because that's going to make them act much differently, and you don't want that. You want them to be stacked, not nested. So right arrow, left arrow, and we're not going to change Y. We're going to be moving along the x-axis. Change X by 10, and left is negative. All right, let's see how it works. Click our flag, and now Leia moves. So if I have both arrow keys pressed, she goes in sort of a diagonal direction. Which is awesome. So, awesome. So now I have movement for her, which is great. Now I want to program I want to program Darth Vader to be like moving. I want him to kind of just go up and down and be like bouncing around. So I can do this in a couple of different ways. But I think the way that I want him to go is literally just up and down. So I'm going to have him moving. I'm going to have him gliding to up this point and then this point. So I'm clicked on Darth Vader. I need a flag. When the green flag is clicked, I'm going to glide 1 second. So here's what I want to do. Do you guys see these numbers in the glide, the XY axis? Those numbers actually tell me where he is currently. So if I move him on the screen, watch those numbers. Ready? Bam. They changed. They're telling me, this is a really nice feature of Scratch that's telling me where my character is on the screen, so I can quickly pull that block out and not have to just manually be typing numbers all the time. So if I want Darth Vader to go up here, well, first I want him to start here, right? So I'm going to tell him to go to that position on the XY axis. Then I'm going to have him repeat this. I'm going to have him glide up here. And then I'm going to have him glide down here. So I'm going to position him where I want him first and then pull the block out. This is going to repeat until the game ends. So I'm going to put a forever loop around it. Well, that's really fast. That's like really, really fast. I don't even know if that's going to work. Let's try gliding 1.5 seconds. Because that's going to slow him down a little bit. Let's see if that works. Let me test it out. I always like to test my game as I go, like always. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that's nice. So what should R2-D2 be doing? Maybe he's just like nervously pacing back and forth. So I'm gonna go to R2-D2. Maybe it could change color too. And I'm just gonna get a repeat loop because I already know I wanted to repeat. And I'm going to tell him to go to his starting position when the flag is clicked. Then I'm gonna have him glide to here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have him move -10 steps. No, what do I want to do? So I want him to point towards Darth Vader. Then glide here. Then I want him to point in the direction of 90, which is going to point him, no, -90. And then glide again back here. And I could have said point in direction 90, but I said point towards Vader. Actually, no, that's not going to work. He's got to point in the direction of 90. Which basically makes him point in his original direction. And then he's going to go back there. Alright, let's test it. Whoops. Well, that's not really happening. See, I already messed up the code. It's alright. See what I did here? I said glide 1 second to random position instead of gliding back to his original position. Oopsie. So like those kind of mistakes are really easy to do. Oh, now he's upside down. I don't want him to do that. So what I'm gonna have him do is I don't know how to keep him upright. That's a really good question. Set rotation style. We'll set his rotation style to left, right. Don't rotate, rather. Nope, it's left and right. There it is. That's what I wanted. And I want him to change color. Awesome. Okay. So what has to happen is Leia has to get by Darth Vader. Ooh. Also, I'm going to make it a little harder. I'm going to make it so as she touches the edge, that she bounces off, so she cannot hide from him. He is not to be hidden from. We're going to set her rotation style, and then we're going to say forever if on edge bounce. So she can't hide up there now. So, what's missing from my game now? I have to make it so if she's touching Vader, she's gonna... I mean, we could have her lose right off the bat, or we could have her lose points. We have a little time. We could definitely come up with like a point system for her. Alright, so the way that we're going to create the point system is we're going to make a variable. And a variable is really a simple concept in programming. It is a container for information, right? So in this case, think of it like a bucket. You have to name your bucket to categorize what's going to be in it. In this case, it's going to be numbers. So we're going to call the stuff going into our bucket points. That's going to be our variable. So let's say that Leia, actually let's call it like life force, right? So let's say Leia, or midi-chlorians maybe. So let's say that Princess Leia starts out with 5 midi-chlorians, and every time she touches Darth Vader, she loses the Force. She like loses a point in the Force. So let's go to variables. There's this variable called my variable. I'm just gonna rename it because by default they give you one. The Force. So when the flag is clicked, what do I want to set the Force to? Like, how many lives is she gonna get? Take these off because they're a little in my head. So when the flag's clicked, I'm going to set the Force to 5 because I want her to have 5 chances, essentially. And then I'm going to say that she's going to wait until she's touching Darth Vader. And that's what the wait until block does. Is just it constantly scans in a loop. So we're gonna wait until touching Darth Vader. You get touching mouse pointer. Click Darth Vader. And then we're gonna change the Force by, how do we... Basically, if you're adding a negative, you're subtracting. So we're gonna add by -1. So we're subtracting 1 from this number, the Force, and clicking over here, checking the box will make it appear or not appear. If this happens, I'm going to change the backdrop. So I'm going to switch the backdrop to game over. And then I'm going to use a block called stop all. And what stop all does is it acts like you're hitting the stop sign. So it kills every program that's running. Alright, so let's test it out. So what happened? Well, she didn't go anywhere when she hit Darth Vader. So she automatically lost all her points because of that repeat loop. So what we want to do is we want, every time she gets hit, we want her to go back to the beginning. So we're going to say wait until she's touching Darth Vader. Send her back to her spot. So go to XY. And let's see if that works better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switches to game over. Awesome. And it killed the program, so everything stops. So what's next? Well, what happens if she gets R2-D2? She should probably win, right? Because basically this is like a boss level. So we'll just create a new piece of, we'll create like a new block of code. Or we'll say, wait until touching R2. Switch the backdrop, and I'm just duplicating pieces of code because they're right there, so I don't have to go searching for them. Winning and stop ball. You won. You may return to the Millennium Falcon. Awesome. Now what? It sort of looks like it looks like bad with all of them here. So now I want them all to hide. And the way I can do that is I can actually have a backdrop change be the thing that triggers the characters to do stuff. So I'm going to say when the backdrop switches to U1, hide. That's also going to happen on the game over screen. But what about the screen where they're playing? They should show, right? So I can put that under literally any flag. I'm gonna drag these into the other characters as well. This will copy them. So you drag them over the sprite that you want to copy them to, and then drop them. Just gonna clean up my screen. Alright, let's see what's happening. Uh-oh. She didn't go back to the beginning, so we have to tell her to go to her starting position when the flag is clicked. You won! Woohoo! I'm also going to show and hide this variable. But, uh-oh, what's happening? I can't see them! Oh no! It's because they have no shell block when the flag is clicked. You won! You may return to the Millennium Falcon. Thanks. Pretty cool, right? Alright, last but not least, I want to add some sound effects and music. So I'm I'm going to GameThemeSongs.com and I'm going to search up Star Wars. Now, since we're not making money off of this, when it's for an educational purpose, having copyrighted music is going to be okay in this circumstance, but I always do want to talk about copyright laws. Star Wars. Ooh, Lego Star Wars. So in Scratch, I can go over to sounds and I can upload my own sound if I want to. In theory. And we're gonna make it a little softer. And so the way I'm going to program it is now I'm going to go and I'm going to say play sound until done. And then I can throw that in a loop. Remember, you have to do play sound until done, otherwise it's just going to try to keep repeating the same thing over and over. And it's going to be really glitchy and sound awful. So how can we make this game a little bit more fun to play? I think we could make Darth Vader go a little bit faster, I think. Nice. So that's our game in a nutshell. Sorry if I'm blasting your eardrums out. I mean, we could go even farther and, you know, make the Darth Vader theme song play, but Darth Vader. Yes, I think we should. Oh no. I want it to be like dun 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 dun. But anyway, that's pretty much the gist of it. You can definitely go on all day adding sound effects and music and all that good stuff. So I encourage you guys to have some fun. Once you've made the game, then you can kind of start customizing it and making everything your own, and it's really like the sky is the limit in terms of what you want to accomplish. But yeah, that's our game. Play it one more time. Whoops. I gotta make it a little harder, I think. Yeah. god. Just gotta get the sweet spot. Just look at him go. Gotcha. Anyway, that's our game. So once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. My name's Emily from the Digital Arts Experience. We teach a bunch of online classes in Scratch, as well as a lot of other stuff, coding, modeling, you name it. Check out the Digital Arts Experience at thedae.com. And stay tuned for other awesome content. All of our coworkers are super skilled in a lot of creative technology fields, so definitely hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment if you have more stuff you think that would be awesome to add to this game, and let me know what you think, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome day.